Today's video is on the 10 worst things about living in Salt Lake City, Utah. So if you can handle things like no gambling, weird alcohol rules, things you can and can't do on Sundays, if you want to know those things and more, I'm getting after it right now. Welcome back, everybody. I am Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So if you want to learn everything about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here, then please click the subscribe button and click the little bell to be notified every time I do a new video. I have been getting a ton of people just like you that are reaching out to me about making that move here to the Salt Lake City area, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you, please give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. I've got your back, days, nights, weekends, if you're moving here to the Salt Lake City area. If you want to learn about what happens on Sundays, that's the last thing on the list, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. Number one on the list is the drivers here in Salt Lake City, and they are some of the worst drivers that I've ever seen anywhere in the United States. And I've lived in Tennessee, lived in California, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico. We have some of the worst drivers that are here. I thought people from Alabama, Mississippi were bad drivers. Nope, not anymore. I've seen some of the worst drivers here. We've seen some people drive 100, 120 miles an hour on the freeway when they shouldn't be, zipping in and out of lanes, not using their turn signals. People seem to like to run red lights around here. A bunch of different things that have to do with the drivers here, and we just have some of the worst drivers. So that's number one on the list. Can you handle that? Number two on the list is religion. And as you probably know, the LDS or Mormon faith here is huge in Salt Lake City and Utah in general. It's about 50-50, so about 50% of the people you run into will be of that faith. The plus side of that is they are super friendly, super nice, and we don't seem to have any sort of issue not being of the Mormon faith, like our kids at school or just work or play or anything that we seem to do, running into people out hiking, camping, everything that we seem to do for fun around here. We don't seem to have any sort of issue. Lots of people seem to have that as a concern, and I don't think you'll have a concern with that at all here. The only negative part about religion here is if you are wanting like a normal non-denominational Christian church, there just aren't a lot of them here for you to pick from. So that's religion, number two. Number three on the list is gambling and the lottery. And when we moved to Utah, we had no idea that they didn't do the lottery or that there was no sort of gambling at all. However, you're about an hour and 45 minutes from Wendover, Nevada, where you're going to be able to do any sort of gambling that you're looking for. You can go up into Idaho and do some slot machines. Or you can do what we do, and we just drive down to Vegas, and that's about 5 hours, 5.5 hour drive south on I-15. Super easy drive. You get to do 80, 85 miles an hour the whole way, so it's not really a bad drive at all. The lottery-wise, when they had the huge Powerballs over the last year, when they were $1.5 billion and whatnot, we found out you can't even buy lottery tickets in Nevada. You have to go to Arizona, and there's a little spot right in between St. George and Las Vegas of Arizona where you'll be able to buy lottery tickets. I believe that's the closest place you can go to actually get lottery tickets. So that's pretty much gambling. I thought that they might have some card houses or something like that here in Utah, so I Googled that, found a couple places, tried calling them. They were all closed or didn't have the right phone number. So I'm guessing that there's none of that here in the Salt Lake City area at all. The number four thing that you're going to need to know would be the alcohol rules, and Utah has the strictest alcohol rules in the entire nation. You will be able to buy beer and some of the hard seltzers at the grocery store and the gas stations. However, anything else, you're going to be going to the state-run liquor stores, and those are closed on Sundays and on holidays, and they have different hours, so you're going to need to check that out ahead of time if you're going to be needing your alcohol fix. Make sure that you don't plan on trying to buy something on Sunday for an NFL game or something, because you're not going to be able to get it on Sundays. And as far as driving limits go, it's 0.05 here, which is the lowest limit anywhere in the nation. They also have some weird rules with restaurants and alcohol. You have to order food with your alcohol, so you won't be able to just order a beer and sit there and drink and watch like football. You're going to have to order food as well. They also don't make mixed drinks in the bar. If the kids are allowed in the bar area, they will put them around the corner. They used to have something called the Iron Curtain, which was way worse than what it is now. They also used to have club memberships in order to be able to get into bars and whatnot in downtown Salt Lake City. That has all gone away as well. So if you heard that, that isn't true anymore. But that's the weird stuff with alcohol here in Utah. The number 5 thing you're going to have to get used to is traffic here and then the grid system. As far as traffic goes, you're going to have traffic mainly during rush hour times. So, your 7 to 9 a.m. commute, and then your 4:30, 5-ish until 6 p.m. commute. And that is going to be on all the freeways and a bunch of the different roads that you're going to take. So it just, use your Waze or your Google Maps or Apple Maps to direct you so you can get home the fastest way that it can. But that's for as far as traffic goes. The grid system is how they do all the streets here. So you're going to have like 1,000 west by 2,000 South Street. And so it's so many blocks this way, so many blocks that way. Once you get used to how the grid system actually works, you'll probably find that it's very useful. However, moving from places that just use street names, it's not super easy to get used to because it's way easier to remember, like, oh, this is off of Broadway Street instead of 1,000 west by 4,000 east. Like, it just doesn't make as much sense as if they just said Broadway. However, I understand, and after living here now 2 years, it makes a lot more sense, and I can get pretty much where I want to go using the grid system. And then it also makes it where you can kind of pinpoint where on 4,000 east the store that you're going to is located at. So that's cool. But that's the grid system, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge when you first get here and you start driving around and getting used to it. The number 6 thing on the list is housing prices in Salt Lake County. And housing prices here have just skyrocketed over the past 2 years. So it's not as affordable as it once was years ago, but it's still affordable depending upon where you're coming from. So if you're coming from places like California and New York and Illinois and Michigan where property values are high, then you probably won't see it as a big issue here. But you're looking right around the $500,000 to $650,000 range for the typical single family home here. You can do a condo for less and a townhome, of course, for less. You could definitely get bigger, different home, depending upon if you're looking for a finished basement or not. You just need to know what you're looking for, and that's part of what we help you with by you reaching out to us, is what your needs are and your wants and what location of Salt Lake City you want to live in, whether you want to live north of Salt Lake City, south of Salt Lake City, west or east. You just need to reach out to us so that we can talk you through that and help you end up in a place where you're going to love living. The number 7 thing you're going to need to know is the weather. So the first year we were here, it was really, really hot in the summer, and then it would rain in a lot of the times in the afternoon. So we found out that that's why they have so many car washes here between that and the winter time, of course, to wash all the salt off. But it would rain in the afternoon, and then the wind would blow dust on your car, so you would need to get it washed. And that led us into fall, and fall was really, really nice. It wasn't super hot. It did get kind of cold in late October, so almost closing in on winter time. It started to get more chilly than what we were used to, and the grass stopped growing, of course, which was cool because then you don't have to worry about mowing your yard. Winter, as far as winter, the first year we were here, winter, it snowed maybe a total of 2 feet of over the whole winter time, which wasn't much. I think we had 1 or 2 days where it was necessary to have 4-wheel drive. And this year is completely different as far as winter goes. It snowed a ton, probably 4 or 5 feet of snow, and we needed 4-wheel drive, I would say 4 or 5 times this year to get around, where it was super helpful to have. It has snowed, I think, the most that it's ever snowed in the Utah mountains, or at least since they started tracking it, something like that. I heard just a crazy amount of snow. The Great Salt Lake has added a bunch of feet to it since it was getting really dry, which is cool, and hopefully all the snow that melts will fill that back up even more. The springtime, we're into spring right now, and it finally has been into the 60s and 70s, which is nice since it's been 20s and 30s most of the winter. and we were told this is not typical. It does this every 7, 8, 9 years. It'll snow quite a bit, and then that's pretty much the part about the weather that you're going to need to know is that we have that it does snow here. It does get hot here. Spring and fall are really nice. There's lots of things to enjoy about both of those, but you do get all 4 seasons here in Utah. So that's pretty awesome. Number 8 on the list would be air quality. And they say that the air quality is pretty poor here. I haven't noticed it be an issue since we've been here. However, I do know that we have something called the inversion layer where warm air gets trapped by the cold air, and that causes this poor air quality. And then we also get the forest fires that California has, and they blow all their crap into us, which means you can't see the mountains at all, and then it's not great air quality. So if you have some sort of breathing issue or allergies or asthma, just know that you should research that ahead of time and make sure that you're going to be okay with the air quality here. Number 9 is something I'm dealing with right now. It is super dry here in Utah. And by dry, I mean it's probably more dry than anywhere else that I've lived. You're going to need lots of lotion, chapstick, which I need right now because we just got back from Moab where it was even more dry than it is here in the Salt Lake City area. You're going to need sunscreen. I forgot to put sunscreen on my face, so it's a little bit more red than it should be because it got a little bit of sun when we were out. But know that you are going to need those 3 things. And lotion, you're going to figure out that you get really itchy, so you're going to want to put lotion on so you don't scratch yourself. And like I do, I forget to put lotion on, and then I'll end up with scratch marks where it looks like somebody scratched me on my legs or whatever because I've itched so badly. So just know that you're going to need lotion, chapstick, sunscreen here. The plus side to the dryness is it's super nice in the evenings here once it kind of cools down in the summertime. Sitting outside from say 6 to 10 p.m. at night when it's still sort of light out is amazing. Just it feels great to be outside and you can just relax, and as long as you have a little bit of shade, you are primed to sit outside. And we don't have as many bugs as what I was used to in Tennessee with mosquitoes and other crawlers. We don't have them here in Utah. We do have spiders, of course, and I've heard they're snakes, but I haven't seen those as of yet. Number 10 on the list, and I told you you'd need to stick around for this one, on Sundays. And so the stores, there are a ton of stores that close on Sundays. You probably already know Chick-fil-A is closed, so you're not going to be able to eat there. And just a bunch of other places are closed on Sundays here that you won't be able to do. The major thing that we found out was when we got here, we wanted to get a new car. We wanted to get something with all-wheel drive. So we were thinking, hey, we'll go shopping on Saturday or Sunday. And Saturday didn't work, so we wanted to go Sunday and found out that they don't sell cars here on Sundays. So you are not able to purchase cars. You could drive over to the lot, I guess, and do what we did, where we just walked and looked at the used cars. But they're not open on Sunday because they don't register or do anything else because it's all closed on Sundays. The flip side of Sunday is if you're going to go shopping at places, a lot of the places have way less people that shop at them on Sundays because half of the people are Mormon and they don't purchase anything on Sundays. So that makes it super nice. We did find out that Sunday is not a good day to go to the grocery store because the people who don't shop on Sunday bought all the stuff up on Saturday or Friday. And so the store shelves are not as full or back up to full. So know that it's not a great day to go grocery shopping on Sunday, even though there's less people. Better to go on like a Wednesday or Thursday and do it all then for the weekend and maybe for the next week. But you'll figure that out as well. So those 10 things are some of the worst things about living here in Utah. So if you can handle those and you want to know more about Utah, please reach out to me. I'd love to set up a Zoom session with you, go over everything you're looking for, what you're wanting, but you got to reach out to me. So give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, and let's get you set up for your Zoom session and get you moved here to Utah. Until next time, be rad.